G'day General Math students. In this video we're going to do a percentage increase question. So we have an investment made in a term deposit at 6% per annum compound interest, and that's added quarterly. So the question tells us that we have a 1.5% each quarter, and you may remember from the finance unit that would come from taking the 6% and dividing that by 4 because we have a quarterly compounding situation, and that gives the 1.5%. So the first thing to do would be to convert that into a decimal. Because this is a percentage increase, that means that we're going to have 101.5%. So we're adding this 1.5% here to 100% to get that. And then when we divide that by 100 to get our decimal, we have 1.015 for our R value. Okay, so we're going to use that to complete this table. So the balance starts out at 6,500. We multiply that by 1.015. After 1 quarter, it will be 6,597.50. And then we'll multiply it by that ratio again. And it's now 6,696.46. Oops. So we're going to round to 2 decimal places each time because it's money, so we're going to go to the nearest cent. 6796. Uh, 91. And finally 6898.86. Okay, so we've completed the table, and that shows us the balance up until quarter 4, which is 1 year into the investment. In part B, we're asked to prove that the data is a geometric sequence and find a rule for the sequence. Okay, so if this data is in fact geometric, then we know that by dividing consecutive terms, we should reveal the common ratio and get that common ratio repeating. All right, so what they're asking us is to divide consecutive terms and see if we get a repeat with the value that comes from that. So term 2 divided by term 1. Now we know that that is going to reveal this common ratio of 1.015. 6,597.50 divided by 6,500 gives 1.015. Now let's do term 3 over term 2. So 6,696.46 over 6,597.50. Now, because we did a little bit of rounding, we might not get exactly the same number for the common ratio here, but it's very close, and it's essentially just demonstrating that repetition. If you round that off to the same number of decimal places, we do get the common ratio. So we've demonstrated that this common ratio, or that when we divide consecutive terms, we get a repeat. So we have a common ratio. This is a geometric sequence. Now that number, the common ratio, is going to form part of the sequence rule, which I'll write over here. So we're going to have Tn equals, now remember the first number in the sequence is written down here, where A goes, so 6,500. And then we put the common ratio in brackets to the power of n take 1. And there is our sequence rule. So we're asked to predict the balance after 8 quarters. So what n value are we going to put into our sequence rule? 8 quarters, does that mean n equals 8? Well, if we look over here on the right, we can see that the initial balance lines up with T1, and the balance after 1 quarter lines up with term 2. So if you were to continue that on down to quarter 8, then we would actually be at term 9, wouldn't we? So this is wrong. N does not equal 8. N equals 9 for 8 quarters. So you've just got to be careful of that offset between the number of terms and the number of quarters in a question like this. Okay, so T9 is what we're actually finding. So we'll put N equals 9 into this equation, and let's see what we get. To the power of 9 take 1. We could just put 8 there, of course. Okay, 7, 3, 2, 2, 20. So that's how much is in the account after 8 quarters. Okay, you might want to pause now and try D on your own. Just watch out for that offset between the number of quarters and the position in the sequence. Right, so with 10 years, that is 10 by 4 quarters per year, 40 quarters. And of course, that means that N equals 41. So that's what we're putting to find term 41. Just let the computer think for a moment. So we do need to be careful of that offset between the quarters and the terms in a question like this. Okay, so this balance should be building up quite nicely after that period of time. $41 take 1. And we've got $11,791.12 would be the rounding off there. Righto, so look at the description for the video and try some of these questions.